I know I'm not alone in this, but the cost of living right now in America is getting a little ridiculous. Wouldn't you agree? And I have an analogy to describe how I feel, and you can let me know, and please let me know if this is how you feel as well. I have been marooned on a lifeboat in the middle of the ocean. This lifeboat has a leak. I'm trying to patch up this leak with what materials that I have. My goal eventually is to find some dry land, get myself to the beach, an island, whatever. I'll take anything at this point. I'm trying to stay, for the moment, on survival mode on this lifeboat, but it's quickly sinking. I'm trying to scoop out this water. Because I'm extending all my energy trying to scoop out this water, I completely pass by an island, and I don't even have the energy to get myself to this island because I'm trying to maintain the status quo of this lifeboat. And I feel like that is what it feels like to be middle class and below middle class and just poor in America right now. It probably feels like that to be rich. Actually, strangely enough, if you can believe it, somebody who is rich wants to stay rich, or else they'll be down scooping up water with the rest of us. So that's how I feel about the rising cost of living right now, because everything's gotten a little bit more expensive. Wouldn't you agree? Like rent, groceries, gas, entertainment, luxuries. Like I don't even know if I could ever afford a ticket to Disneyland now. Like every little single thing that one needs to stay alive and be kind of happy. I don't even know if we're happy. We're just trying to stay alive. Like how many people are on survival mode? And then as I'm trying to scoop out this water, I'm not saying this happened to me, but let's just say you go to the doctor and they give you an aspirin and they charge your insurance $3,000 and the insurance pays like $2 out of this $3,000 and you're on the hook for the difference. I'm not saying that happened to me, but it kind of did happen to me. And let's just say that your rent rises. Why are you renting? It's because we miss the boat. We miss the boat. Get it? We missed the boat on, buying a house when the interest rates were low. The housing prices are still high, but the interest rates were low, like 2021. Missed the boat. And I feel like because we missed the boat, we're never going to get on the boat again. The opportunity will not come again. Unfortunately, the only affordable house that came on the market is a house where 3 people were deleted. One person deleted 2 people, and then he deleted himself. And then all 3 of them were marinating on the floor of this house for an entire year in which nobody even knew they were there. I guess the house was really good at insulating smells or something. They've been marinating and they've gone back to the earth on the floor, through the floor. And I'm sure like a flipper came in and painted the walls and painted that that spot on the floor, sprayed some Febreze around. And that house, even though 3 people were deleted and marinating and very ripe, that house is now worth $895,000. The rent goes up several $100s a month. Even though for an entire month, that's 4 weeks out of an entire month, somebody has been leaving a giant turd on the second step of your stairwell every single week. And you think it's a dog? Well, let me tell you, it's not a dog. A human being has taken a dump on the second floor of your stairwell. I don't know how the amenities of this place warrants the increase in rents of that amount, but there it is. And your neighbor whom you share the same landing with, it's just only you 2. Your neighbor has not taken out her trash for an entire year. She's just been kind of piling her trash in her home to the point where she can't pile the trash in her home anymore. It's kind of a hoarder situation. The trash has spilled out to, her front step. It's created this nest of rats. So every day you have like rat feces, like around your welcome mat. You have to sweep out the rat feces. And then one day when you go down the stairwell, which has been cleared of the human feces, by the way, the rat darts down with you, like scampers down with you, and it swishes its prehensile tail, and the prehensile tail brushes your ankle. Even though she introduced rats into the communal environment, you can't rat out your neighbor, because if you rat her out, you'll throw her out into the street and she'll have no place to go. And you will be damned if you're going to be responsible for the homelessness of another person in this economy. You just kind of have to live like this, okay? And this is all going on amidst rising gas prices and rising groceries go up. And then look at this. Look at this Kellogg's strawberry protein meal bar that I don't really like to eat, but my husband got it from his work. It was here one day and I was like, look at this package. This is where the bar is. And this is where the package is. What happened right here? Huh? So this is what we're dealing with here. The rising cost of living, the shrinkflation of our groceries. Can't even eat a goddamn Special K bar for Halloween, like the Halloween candy. We opened up a box of Milk Duds, like the tiny box of Milk Duds. There was nothing in it. It was an empty box. I opened up a fortune cookie once and there was no fortune. I did not get a fortune. Sounds like I'm living in the gutter or something with all these rats in the trash apartment next to me and the people deleting themselves in the house, the only house that's affordable. It's sad to say that I am squarely middle class right now. I'm in my middle class lifeboat. I've not always been. I used to be in the water, guys. I grew up in the water and somehow I've managed to get myself on a leaky lifeboat, which is middle class. I'll be goddamned if I'm going back into the water. I don't want to go back to the situation where you can't afford a plumber, so then your dad has to drill a hole in the bathroom wall, use a fish pump to pump out your bath water for an entire year. I'd be goddamned if I have to go back eating little packets of ketchup for lunch. I'm not doing that anymore. So that's why I'm scooping out water in my middle class lifeboat, which is slowly sinking into the water. You know what I'm saying? So let me just calm down. The cost of living sucks right now. And I don't want to give you charts. I don't want to talk about the rate of inflation, which, by the way, I did some research prior to this video. It hit its peak in 2022. So technically it's actually been on the decline and we're leveling out to 2021 levels. Why is everything still so expensive? For some reason, the cost of living has not gone down. Unfortunately, when prices go up, they tend to stay up. Because we want to feel good in these little bedroom chats. We're not going to talk about inflation rates or corporate predatory practices on consumers. All that makes you feel bad. And it's like, if you want to feel bad, there's plenty of places on the internet for you to go and feel bad. Like, just doom scroll the news all day long and then you'll start to feel bad. I don't want to be, you probably know what I'm talking about here. There's always this person who's like a buzzkill. And every time you're around them, they always start to talk about like current events or the news in a buzzkill fashion. You know, it's like that uncle at Thanksgiving that you try to avoid. I don't want to do that. Okay. So this is going to be a cozy video about deprivation. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Deprivation. This is going to be a cozy video about frugality. My name is Teresa, and this is all the things that I had to forego in this cost of living crisis. And I guarantee it's going to be cozy. Let's go. Some of these things are stuff that I have foregone this year because of the rising cost of living. I'm just like budgeting and going like, do I really need that? Some of these things have been slowly, it didn't happen all at once. I didn't rip the Band-Aid off all at once. I've just kind of slowly eliminated from my life since around 2019. I've experienced subscription fatigue. There was a time during when we were all stuck at home, subscribed to mostly all the subscription services. I have not been subscribed to Netflix for 2 years. I've eliminated Disney Plus from my life. Netflix was a big one because we've been subscribed since 2014. It is kind of painful because I'm a big fan of The Crown. As I speak right now, I have not watched the final season of The Crown. But then I know what happened to Princess Diana. It's fine. The streaming services we still currently have on docket, Amazon Prime, just keeping it for the next day delivery. Sometimes you don't even get next day, by the way. There's always a conversation every year about like, should we renew Amazon Prime? And then we still have HBO Max, or just Max, through some means that I'm not going to talk about. What I have replaced it with instead is Canopy, which is like a streaming service through the library. So you get a bunch of movies from the library. They're not the latest movies, but you do get a lot of international movies. Like there's still good movies on there. You can watch international movies like Anatomy of a Fall, Parasite, Perfect Days is on there right now, and international documentaries. But I watch a lot of YouTube to supplement. And that's free. In the realm of entertainment, one of the things that I stopped doing is going to the movies. There was a time, okay, guys, I was a Movie Pass subscriber. We still have our Movie Pass cards. During 2018, had Movie Pass like at the beginning of the year, like in the same year that it went kaput and ran out of money because it never really had any money to begin with. We were Movie Pass subscribers and we went to the movies 3 times a week. It's a time of wine and roses. Like we'll be like, remember when we used to have Movie Pass? Those were the days. Those were the days. And then after Movie Pass went kaput, I feel like we haven't gone to the movies at all this year. Not at all. And I definitely do miss it because the movie theater experience is something that is unmatched. You're in it, you're focused. I like watching the previews. The only problem is like the movies that come out nowadays, I'm just not excited to go watch it, especially with the cost of a movie ticket. I'm not excited to go watch it for that amount of money, for like $14 a ticket. Or at least I remember it was about $14 a ticket where I'm from 2 years ago. I don't know what it is now. I feel modern movies are too long. The runtime is too long. Some are clocking in at about 3 hours. And I remember back in the day, and I hate saying back in the day, but back in the day, Titanic was 3 hours long. Titanic warrants 3 hours. You got everything here. But nowadays, just any movie, like a romantic comedy, is about 3 hours long. Challenger's on my to-watch list, but every time I think about watching it, I'm like, it's 3 hours long. Is it a sweeping historical epic? No, it's not. It's a contemporary movie. It should be 90 minutes long. I feel like it's a catch-22. A lot of studios want to make that expensive ticket price worth your money. So they think that they have to make the runtime longer. You stay there longer, so it's worth your money. But from an artistic perspective, I don't really respect movies that are longer than they need to be. There's parts I know that could be cut, but you're not cutting it. So therefore, you're just wasting the viewer's time. A lot of people have forgotten how to act in public. There's people that are on their phone, like right in front of you, their bright phone in the movie theater. Like, why go to the movies if you're going to be on your phone? People are just having whole conversations, not whisper conversations, but like whole conversations with each other in the movie theater. Or if they're not conversing with each other, they're doing some kind of TikTok dance. That's why I don't go to the movie theaters. The movies are unnecessarily long to justify the high cost of the ticket. People out there are becoming increasingly annoying. If you see my surroundings getting brighter and I look a little different, it's because I'm filming this another time, another day. And I did have time to edit my footage from before, and I was in a mood. And the mood was, let's just say that you wouldn't want to run into me in a dark alley because I was experiencing a lot of irritability and female rage. I guess that's what I call it, female rage. Recently, I started rereading Gone Girl. I read it about 10 years ago. I started rereading it again, and not for entertainment purposes, but for tips. So, should you be afraid? Yeah, you should be afraid. I'm just going to calm down and dip into this segment, which is for the ladies. I still wear makeup, but not as often as I used to. The very ironic thing is, all through my teens into my mid-20s, so half of my 20s, I never wore makeup, and in fact, I didn't even know how to wear makeup. If I went to the makeup section of Target, I would feel really overwhelmed. It's very overwhelming. I don't even know where to begin. I know I need some foundation, I suppose. And it wasn't until I was in my mid-20s that I developed adult acne. And it got really bad, like cystic acne. That prompted me on this doom spiral of buying over-the-counter acne or pimple creams. Unbeknownst to myself back then, was trying out all these different products on my face was making the acne worse. So what started off as just like a few pimples here and there became bad, like dry, cystic acne, like my cheeks were all red, everything. Like I was doing it to myself. In order to cover that up, I started wearing makeup. I bought some foundation with some salicylic acid. And then I started trying out all the different foundations from the different brands. And then I realized that you can't just have foundation. There's primer involved and concealer. Then you have to get all the eye products. And then, we're working on brows now. The 2010s was my era of learning how to wear makeup and then wearing makeup. makeup. And then around 2020, I was at home and then I just decided I don't feel like wearing makeup anymore. So I just decided to ease up on the makeup. And I have realized as I looked at makeup in Target, a lot of the products that I used to buy, like for instance, I used to really love the CoverGirl Olay, you know, the kind with the lotion swirled inside. It used to be $9.99 for the foundation, and now it's about $14.99 or so. Like the price increased quite dramatically. I have decided while I still have the makeup I have on hand, I have decided not to wear makeup as much anymore. As I've eased it from my life, I realize I don't need it as much. So now I only wear makeup as I'm filming, even though my self-esteem has increased since I stopped wearing makeup. Ironically, I'm not 100% confident to not wear makeup while I'm filming YouTube videos. And I only wear makeup for special occasions, like if I would go to the theater or if I get invited to a wedding. I would love to get to a point where I feel 100% confident that I could actually just film YouTube videos without makeup. That would be great. I mean, that would save me so much time and hassle. In fact, I would just like to film my videos from my bed. Just right here, just move the set over right here, film it without makeup with my stuffed animals all around me. What do you think about that? I mean, it's not as if the production quality is great. I feel like it's the ultimate mark of confidence for a woman to film yourself without any makeup whatsoever. That's like peak confidence as a woman to appear without makeup. So I've been seeing Pamela Anderson's going no makeup, and that's the ultimate confidence a woman can have because she's actually going on red carpets without makeup. But then I see like people post her photos with makeup versus no makeup. Women are supportive, but men are mean. Once I remember asking a bunch of guys, this is before street interviews and stuff, I remember asking, do you notice when a woman is wearing makeup? The consensus is that they don't notice. But if you wear makeup all the time and one day you decide not to wear makeup, then they will notice that. But they don't notice it's a makeup thing. They'll notice it's like, something is different. You look a little pale, a little off. Are you sick? I also think in real life, and it's different being online versus real life. Like online, people will just tell you maybe everything that's wrong with you. So in real life, not online, if you stop wearing makeup and people are mean to you because you're not wearing makeup, like somebody doesn't want to be your friend because you are not wearing makeup, why do you even want to be their friend to begin with? Why are they even worthy of being your friend? I feel like online, it's different because online people will just tell you things about yourself that they would never have the courage to say to your face. Somebody said my hands were quite small though. I have always been very frugal with my makeup. I would take one makeup sponge and then I would cut it into fourths. This is like the tiny makeup sponges I would use. This is going to be really disgusting. You know how it's recommended that you should toss your makeup after 6 months? The makeup companies recommend this so you could buy more makeup, but maybe dermatologists recommend this. I currently still use this eyeliner. I have it on me right now. I have had this eyeliner since 2019, so about 5 years. I do worry about getting an eye infection from it, but I haven't gotten an eye infection yet. So where's some wood so I can knock on it? There. Around the time when my acne stopped, I was using the Clinique, that's a long name, the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, you know, the famous yellow bottle. I have no proof that this lotion cured my acne, but because I was using it around the time when my acne ceased to be a problem, I feel like I can't stop using this lotion. It became a crutch. Like if I stopped using it, then my acne would come back. That was my fear. So I've used it for years and years and years. It was quite expensive. It was about $25. I was very frugal with, you didn't need much to moisturize your entire face with it. Now it clocks in at around $34. So I've been trying to find a replacement. I've been doing some research on some affordable drugstore lotions that have the same properties as the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. So I came upon CeraVe, you know, just your basic CeraVe lotion, and I started using this instead. There was a review somewhere where somebody said their 96-year-old mother used it and her face looks like she's a 70-year-old. And I'm like, that's pretty good for me. And this is what I've been using as my daily moisturizer. And honestly, it's the only thing I'm using right now. This is not sponsored by CeraVe, by the way. I just love it. And if they want to sponsor me, yes, definitely. Because I too, you know those commercials, I too have a passion for human skin. So while we're on the topic of skincare, this is kind of controversial or not, depending on what you use. I've decided this year not to use any anti-aging creams anymore. It's just an added expense that I don't need. And how do we know that anti-aging cream really works? Let me get my thing for you. I know that I've seen online that a lot of people are getting into anti-aging as early as their teens, as early as their pre-teens, like 13 years old. I would say for the most of my 20s, I didn't use any anti-aging cream at all. It wasn't until I was in my early 30s that I'm like, it's time to start battling aging. I would occasionally buy, those Olay retinol night creams. My grandma would use Pond's. This is what I have on hand. Got it at Costco, the Olay retinol 24 plus peptides night moisturizer. This is the last of it. So after this is done, I'm not going to buy any more anti-aging cream, and we'll see what my face looks like in 20 years. It seems like from what I'm describing, I'm going incredibly rogue. Like I'm using a 5-year-old eyeliner to my peril. I'm rolling the dice here. I'm really testing fate, and then I'm giving up anti-aging cream. I'm just like, what will my face look like after 20 years? When I am 65, for instance, and somebody comes up to me and they're like, you look like you're 65. I'm like, yeah, I am 65. During the last 10 to 15 years or so, I have accumulated a lot of nail polish. A lot of nail polish. Like this is like one section of nail polish that I have. I have another box of nail polish. This is it. Look at all this nail polish. Nail polish is really heavy. That's not even all of the nail polish. That's as much as I want to cart down. With my set right now, I could start a nail shop. It's a whole production. You have to make sure that they're dry before you do anything, so then you can't do anything and blah, blah, blah. And then there's like the very strong smell that always makes me a little dizzy. So over the past 5 or 6 years, I've just stopped wearing nail polish. I would have to say that like I do miss the look of nicely painted nails. It's fun to change out the colors every season, but they only last for about 2 weeks at the most. And I really don't like the look of chipped nail polish, so I would have to, redo them. It's an ordeal. So it really seems that I've just given up grooming, but I assure you that's not the case. I'm very hygienic. I shower every day. So it may seem that I've slashed and burned through all the aspects of grooming and there's still more to come. And then you're like, Teresa, did you just give up on life? Like you've given up on grooming altogether? I assure you that's not the case. I still very much care about outward appearances in many respects. It's not as if I got into a pair of sweats and never got out of bed or something. I guess like my slashing and burning of all these items comes from a place not of I've given up. It's come from a place of I'm more confident that I don't need it. Don't worry, I still shave under my arms. I haven't grown it all out yet. Another thing that I've given up in this ice cold slashing and burning of personal grooming, I suppose, contact lenses. I don't wear contact lenses very often. In the past, I've always worn glasses. I will have contact lenses for special occasions. Whenever I took photos in the past, I would always take off my glasses. I would just hold my glasses down there. So even though I had contact lenses, I didn't wear them very often. The reason why I have given up on contact lenses completely is that I've never found a pair of contact lenses that I feel comfortable in, like that feels comfortable in my eye. And believe me, I have tried them all. I have a very specific, difficult prescription. My contact lens exam will be more expensive. My contact lenses will be more expensive. And I just like myself in glasses. I feel like glasses really fit me. When I take off my glasses, I'm like, I don't even recognize myself. Other people don't even recognize me either. So I feel like I have two faces. I don't mind myself in glasses. My mom will tell you otherwise. My mom has always hated me in glasses. Like ever since I was told that I needed glasses at 15, she's like, do you really have to wear your glasses? They make you look so old, or they make you look so nerdy. It's either old or nerdy, because old people wear glasses and nerdy people wear glasses. At 15, I was nerdy. I still am nerdy. I'm also at 15 pretty old. I mean, I've told you the story that deep down inside, I'm an 80-year-old woman who likes British costume dramas, Miss Marple mysteries and stuff. So it's like I am old. During the panini, I learned how to cut hair. I learned how to cut my husband's hair, and I think I'm pretty good at it. And that saved us a ton of money because he would need a haircut every month, and he would go out to Fantastic Sam's or something, or Supercuts or something. I think I do a pretty good job, not high-end salon good job, but Fantastic Sam's okay. Like, that's my level of hair cutting. Fantastic Sam's okay. And he has no complaints about it, and he's very particular about his hair. I've unlocked this talent that I didn't even know I have, which is cutting hair. I have always been a very low maintenance person. I mean, obviously from these stories, it seems like I don't maintenance at all. I've always kind of just had the same hair, Asian girl, basic hair, long, sometimes with bangs, sometimes without bangs. When I was younger, like into my teens, even into the college years and beyond, my hair has only been cut by Vietnamese women and this one guy from Hong Kong that really messed it up. Okay, he gave me a pixie cut when I didn't ask for a pixie cut. Now that I've learned how to cut hair, I don't cut my own hair, but my husband cuts my hair for me. Sometimes, if you've noticed, some of the hair is longer than the others, but I think he does a pretty good job. I have virgin hair in that I've never dyed my hair before. So I've come upon a fork in the road where I've always just assumed that when I start graying and I start getting gray hair, I'm gonna dye my hair. But recently, I've decided that I'm not going to dye my hair. I'm going gray, guys. I'm going to go gray hair, don't care. And the reason is because I've looked at the back of a lot of women's heads, older women who dye their hair. I've noticed that, when your hair grows out after you dye it, you get that, the white roots at the hair part line. So I do have gray hair as we speak. I do have gray hair in certain sections of my head right here. If I lift this up, you could definitely see gray. It's grown in here, over here, but right now it kind of blends in with my hair. I'm just going to call it nature's highlights. Remember that gray hair trend? I'm just going to say that that's exactly the look I'm going for. Another thing that I'm cutting out, and this is kind of a embarrassing luxury. It's not something that will ever break the bank, but it's just an expense that I could probably snip out per month. I am addicted to carbonated water. I'm in carbonated water rehab, and it's because it's winter as I'm filming this right now. It's more of like a summertime drink. If I can just wean myself, if I get back on the wagon of not drinking carbonated water. Is that the right analogy? Get on the wagon. You want to get on the wagon, and then you don't want to fall off the wagon. And see, like, as the weather becomes warmer, I'm going to try really hard not to fall off the wagon and start drinking carbonated water again. That's basically all the stuff that I am foregoing or have foregone, will forgo due to the rising cost of living. None of these expenses, when you think about it, will break the bank. So now we've given up concrete physical items to have more money to play with, more money to pay off predatory bills that didn't need to be that expensive to begin with, but it is expensive because it can be, because they can make it that expensive. So on that disappointing note, it is time for me to go. Let me know how the rising cost of living has affected you, what kind of things that you had to budget and take out of your life. And let me know if you're a homeowner, what your experience is with that. If you're renting or forever renting, let me know if you've ever visited an emergency room or the urgent care for like 5 minutes and then you received a giant bill about the size of a mortgage for a Band-Aid. So I don't know what else to say. I was in a mood, and then I was in a good mood, and I put myself back in the mood. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've enjoyed me, then consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see ya next time.